precious ones, welcome back to Shelter in the Storm with A Course in Miracles lesson number 76. Tonight's text, we're still in chapter 5 and we've moved on to section 4, Teaching and Healing. What fear has hidden still is part of you. Joining the atonement is the way out of fear. The Holy Spirit will help you reinterpret everything you perceive as fearful and teach you that only what is loving is true. Truth is beyond your ability to destroy, but entirely within your ability to accept. It belongs to you because, as an extension of God, you created it with Him. It is yours because it is part of you, just as you are part of God because He created you. Nothing that is good can be lost because it comes from the Holy Spirit, the voice for creation. Nothing that is not good was ever created, and therefore cannot be protected. The atonement is the guarantee of the safety of the kingdom, and the union of the sonship is its protection. The ego cannot prevail against the kingdom because the sonship is united. In the presence of those who hear the Holy Spirit's call to be as one, the ego fades away and is undone. What the ego makes, it keeps to itself, and so it is without strength. Its existence is unshared. It does not die, it was merely never born. Physical birth is not a beginning, it is a continuing. And everything that continues has already been born. It will increase as you are willing to return the unhealed part of your mind to the higher part, returning it undivided to creation. I have come to give you the foundation, so your own thoughts can make you really free. You have carried the burden of unshared ideas that are too weak to increase. But having made them, you do not realize how to undo them. You cannot cancel out your past errors alone. They will not disappear from your mind without the atonement, a remedy not of your making. The atonement must be understood as a pure act of sharing. That is what I meant when I said it was possible, even in this world, to listen to one voice. If you are part of God and the sonship is one, you cannot be limited to the self the ego sees. Every loving thought held in any part of the sonship belongs to every part. It is shared because it is loving. Sharing is God's way of creating, and also yours. The ego can keep you in exile from the kingdom, but in the kingdom itself it has no power. Ideas of the Spirit do not leave the mind that thinks them, nor can they conflict with each other. However, ideas of the ego can conflict because they occur at different levels and also include opposite thoughts at the same level. It is impossible to share opposing thoughts. You can share only the thoughts that are of God and that He keeps for you. And of such is the kingdom of heaven. The rest remains with you until the Holy Spirit has reinterpreted them in the light of the kingdom, making them, too, worthy of being shared. When they have been sufficiently purified, he lets you give them away. The decision to share them is their purification. Okay, we'll leave our text there and move to one of my favorite lessons, number 76. I am under no laws but God's. We have observed before how many senseless things have seemed to you to be salvation. Each has imprisoned you with laws as senseless as itself. You are not bound by them. Yet, to understand that this is so, you must first realize salvation lies not there. While you seek for it in things that have no meaning, you bind yourself to laws that make no sense. Thus do you seek to prove salvation is where it is not. Today, we will be glad you cannot prove it, for if you could, you would forever seek salvation where it is not, and never find it. The idea for today tells you once again how simple is salvation. Look for it where it waits for you, and there it will be found. Look nowhere else, for it is nowhere else. Think of the freedom in the recognition that you are not bound by all the strange and twisted laws you have set up to save you. You really think that you would starve unless you have stacks of green paper strips and piles of metal discs. You really think a small round pallet or some fluid pushed into your veins through a sharpened needle will ward off disease and death. You really think you are alone unless another body is with you. It is insanity that thinks these things. You call them laws and put them under different names in a long catalogue of rituals that have no use and serve no purpose. You think you must obey the laws of medicine, of economics, and of health. Protect the body and you will be saved. These are not laws, but madness. The body is endangered by the mind that hurts itself. The body suffers just in order that the mind will fail to see it is the victim of itself. The body's suffering is a mask the mind holds up to hide what really suffers. It would not understand it is its own enemy, that it attacks itself and wants to die. It is from this your laws would save the body. It is for this you think you are a body. There are no laws except the laws of God. This needs repeating over and over until you realize it applies to everything that you have made in opposition to God's will. Your magic has no meaning. What it is meant to save does not exist. Only what it is meant to hide will save you. The laws of God can never be replaced. We will devote today to rejoicing that this is so. It is no longer a truth that we would hide. We realize instead it is a truth that keeps us free forever. Magic imprisons, but the laws of God make free. The light has come because there are no laws but His. We will begin the longer practice periods today with a short review of the different kinds of laws we have believed we must obey. These would include, for example, the laws of nutrition, of immunization, of medication, and of the body's protection in innumerable ways. Think further. You believe in the laws of friendship, of good relationships and reciprocity. Perhaps you even think there are laws which set forth what is God's and what is yours. Many religions have been based on this. They would not save but damn in heaven's name. Yet they are no more strange than other laws you hold must be obeyed to make you safe. There are no laws but God's. Dismiss all foolish magical beliefs today and hold your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice that speaks the truth to you. You will be listening to one who says, "There is no loss under the laws of God. Payment is neither given nor received. Exchange cannot be made. There are no substitutes, and nothing is replaced by something else. God's laws forever give and never take." Hear him who tells you this, and realize how foolish are the laws you thought upheld the world you thought you saw. Then listen further. He will tell you more about the love your Father has for you, about the endless joy he offers you, about his yearning for his only Son, created as his channel for creation, denied to him by his belief in hell. Let us today open God's channels to him, and let his will extend through us to him. Thus is creation endlessly increased. His voice will speak of this to us, as well as of the joys of heaven, which his laws keep limitless forever. We will repeat today's idea until we have listened and understood there are no laws but God's. Then we will tell ourselves, as a dedication with which the practice period concludes, I am under no laws but God's. We will repeat this dedication as often as possible today, at least 4 or 5 times an hour, as well as in response to any temptation to experience ourselves as subject to other laws throughout the day. It is our statement of freedom from all danger and all tyranny. It is our acknowledgement that God is our Father and that his Son is saved. Lesson number 76. I am under no laws but God's. Let me check that I'm showing you what the picture is. Sad, 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 aren't we, with all our laws and craziness? You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. The ego will not like this lesson at all. This is an important time for you to remember that these lessons do not have to be understood. You do not have to agree with them. They merely need you to practice them because your society has so many laws and you have been so indoctrinated into them. You have incorporated great fear into the mind as it relates to your government's laws, tax laws, driving laws, parking laws, and bylaws in your local communities. Laws, laws, laws. These are all designed to disconnect you from this truth that you live under no laws but God's. When you begin to really believe and know and act as if this is true, you see evidence of its truth. You find you bring into being circumstances and opportunities that defy the laws of your world. You call them miracles, and that is exactly what God's laws do provide for you. They provide you with the opportunity to perform miracles. In that demonstration, you see the truth of what you have learned. But we don't want you to learn these lessons so you can show off and produce miracles. In fact, the miracles should not be yours by design. You should allow them to be worked through you by higher teachers who know what is in the best interests of everyone. Only do what you are inspired to do. Trust in that guidance. Know there are things that seem good on the surface that you want to do when you are indoctrinated into your world's laws, but they may very well not work toward the good of all. Trust in your inspiration and guidance, and know that even though this lesson seems unreal to you in your current state of consciousness, it is the truth. You are under no laws but God's, and eventually you see that this is the truth. But for now, do the lessons, teach yourself this new idea, and understand that any resistance is natural because you are under so many other laws and you do indeed believe in them. There will come a time on your planet when the laws of God will be far more visible, and we are working together toward that day. Indeed, I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will see you again tomorrow. Namaste, dearest ones. Much love.